and how tennis players can help on stopping it?
I mean, well, this one's, I don't know. It's, could be any kind of answer, to be honest. What can we do about it? Not that much, to be honest. It was a situation this big right now here, of course. Well, we can talk to the tournament, and see what the situation is. I think they gave their informations back to us now, when it's safe to play and all these things. I mean, I don't think it's going to be throughout the entire tournament, bad air quality and all that. So I think we should be fine. But the problem is the animals, the forest, the bushes, the people, the firefighters. That's a difficult part, and every country has problems of their own, so and you need to tackle them differently. Of course, raising awareness, raising money is one thing, preventing is another. So there's a lot of different ways to figure these problems out.
I just would like to pick up on something that you just said regarding air quality. For you personally, how concerned are you about the air quality going forward? If it gets worse, are you happy to continue? But also generally, do you think that tournaments should think about having these tournaments elsewhere because of general air quality?
Go on the street, ask the people if they wanted to move from Melbourne or from Australia. No, I don't worry. From what we were told yesterday in the player meeting, the Olympic Games and other competitions have the number set at 300, ours set at 200. So from that standpoint, I think we're moving in a very safe range. We're not here for 6 months straight at over 200-300, and that's when maybe effects really become bad. So no, I don't worry too much, to be honest. I worry more for everybody else who's in the fire, in the smoke. Because also we can stay indoors all day and quickly go out and play and go back inside again. It's not like we're stuck outside at all times. Maybe that message comes a bit late after the ATP Cup is over, after qualifying is over. But I think communication is key from the tournament to the people, to the media, to the fans, to the players. Because you do hear it's not safe to be outside, keep your pets inside, close your windows, and you have court calls. Okay, on court 2, I understand that there, and then you look at the haze and everything, it doesn't look good, but I think we're going to get through it, and it should be fine. Yeah, and it shouldn't move. No.
You're 38 years of age, you've got 4 kids, you're still at the top, which is quite remarkable. Now there is someone from Belgium you know well, who is 36 years old, has 3 kids. It's Kim Clijsters. She's going to make a comeback in a few weeks' time. I was just wondering if you think that after 7 years without playing competitive tennis, she can be successful again and be a contender for the big titles?
I mean, it's hard to answer that question because I haven't seen her play in over 7 years. But knowing what she could do before and seeing her and her personality, that if she is coming back, it's because she's really in the mood to. She wants to see what else is left to do. I think the age doesn't matter, to be honest. I think it's the fitness and the mind that matters, So I think a lot is possible, to be honest, even though there should be no expectations from her side and from anybody else. It's just, let's go out there and see what can be done. But, if you've attained a level like this, and it's like you take 7 years off her life, and she comes back in her late 20s in some ways, So I think she's going to be fresh. Does she have to play 30 tournaments a year? No, not really. She plays when she's in the mood to and when it suits her family. So I think it's going to be very exciting to follow.
Tennis Australia have said they're going to recognise but not celebrate Margaret Court's Grand Slam anniversary at this tournament. As someone who's always been into their tennis history and been strong about it, are you comfortable with that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a tricky one. I don't know what to tell you. She's obviously an incredible tennis champion, one of the most successful ever. And I know this subject also tears apart a lot of opinions and minds. So I think Tennis Australia there has got to do what they got to do. I really honestly have no opinion on that.
Just on the inequality issue again, Roger, do you think the top players such as yourself do enough for players playing in the qualifying rounds to represent their views when these issues arise?
I didn't understand the end, sorry.
Well, the qualifiers obviously struggled in the conditions on Tuesday and Wednesday, and some of the players suggested that you and Rafael Nadal should do more to represent their interests. Do you think you do enough?
Yeah, and a statement after?
No, well...
Didn't he have a statement after?
I didn't see the statement after.
Okay. I was in the office that day to ask what's the situation, because like I explained you guys, everybody's told to be inside and we're having court calls. How far are we from that threshold of playing, not playing? Because I said, I think we're all confused, you know, is it super unsafe or is it totally safe to play? The problem on top of it, it was actually quite hot too, you know, and you always go back into the same thing. Some players are not used to playing at 35, 33 degree heat, you know, especially if you've come off, I don't know, practice on the indoor season. I'm not saying they're not ready or whatever it is, but it can always hit you. Of course, then everything gets put down on, it was the smoke, for sure, and it can be nothing else. So what can I do? I can go to the office and go speak to them, and I went to them the first day when it was bad on Tuesday, and the next day on Wednesday when it was still bad, and I just told them, look, I just think communication is key for all of us, for everybody, and we just need to do more, because I feel like I hadn't gotten enough information. So can I go on court and say everybody stop play? I mean, I can try, but I don't think that's going to do much. So some media are happy to hammer home with that subject because it's a new one, and maybe it was all a bit late, but I don't think I can do more than what I did, you know. And I'm on the council, and I've been on the tour for so long, and I came through the lower ranks, I came through the juniors. At the end of the day, we care all for one another, you know. We cross path in the locker room, and we're all cool, you know. So I understand some frustration always, because this tour, this calendar, this schedule, whatever it may be, is never perfect. Some guys are always going to complain, but at the end of the day, you know, this is also something new with the smoke, and everybody's got to figure it out, to be honest, you know. Yeah.
We only have time for two more very quick questions that we have here. So this is a question for you.
And I'm playing Steve Johnson, by the way, for those who care. Yeah. I don't know, I figured that's why I'm in Australia, but that's okay. They don't always listen to me, but I play with them sometimes, and I do like to play with them, yeah. But I am not the biggest fan of the dad giving them all the advice. For that, I think they got to listen to the coach, and I've had that problem before where I told them something, I said, well, my coach told me differently. So then I told them, okay, there you go, listen to the coach then, don't listen to me, but at least listen to one of us. So yeah, no, but I'm happy they play a bit of tennis, yeah.
How do you have so much energy at the age of 38?
I don't know, I sleep enough, and I have a good schedule, I have a good team around me. I think important is that you are excited in what you do. If you're excited, you have extra energy. It's like in school, if you have a subject and you don't love it so much and you lie on the table and you're like, oh, I don't love it. But if there's a subject, your favorite one, you're more excited, and tennis is that subject. To me, I love it. And then I have good energy, but it's true, I don't have the same energy like I did have at your age, or 15 or 25. It is different nowadays, so I just got to pace myself a bit more.
Okay, thank you. We're going to change questions now. Change language.
Just one more in English.
And subject, yeah, maybe.
Just ask about the first round.
Okay, sorry, just one more.
Sure, yeah.
Sorry,
Sure.
would you be able to just talk about your first round match against Steve Johnson?
I'm not in the mood now. You had enough time. No, I'm happy to be back in Australia. I'm happy to be playing here, of course. I love it. Look, it's exactly the tricky situation right now, playing somebody who's just played a lot this week. He's ready to go, he's match ready, and I'm not. So I got to really make sure I get out of the gates quick. Practice has been going well. Had plenty of time to pace myself and and do all the things I had to do to get ready. I hope it's enough. I know it's a super long road to victory, and that's why I got to take it one match at a time, and my expectations are quite low. But no, I'm excited to play Steve. He's a good guy, and I think with his old school play and big forehand, slice backhand, good serve, it's going to be I think a nice match for me as well.